Hey everyone, Jake here for Extreme Terrain, and in this video we're taking a look at the Raxium 9-inch Vader LED headlights with black housings and clear lenses fitting 2018 and newer JL Wranglers. If you're looking to improve your visibility and give your JL a unique injection of style, the Vader LED headlights we have here will be just what you're looking for. Featuring an eye-catching aesthetic, great lighting output, and a stellar price, these will be a sweet upgrade to NEG. There are nearly endless headlight options out on the market for the JL, but these definitely bring a unique flavor to the table, and there's little guesswork required to figure out where their name derives from. The two horizontal projectors here, framed by those chrome accents set against the black internal housing, certainly make for a unique look. It's a fun little extra for those of you who are sci-fi fans, and even for those of you who aren't, these have a nice clean look to them. And I think they work pretty well with the JL styling. With the black internal housing, if you're blacking out your JL, this will be a great way to tie in that theme up front and bring a more aggressive element to it. They also feature an LED angel eye ring around the outer edge of the light with some additional LED elements framing the main beams, again adding to that clean, unique appearance. Those angel eyes and the other LEDs that frame the projectors here are going to light up a nice diffused white to function as your daytime running lights. The angel eyes will also function as your turn signal repeaters too, so when you switch on your turn signal, they're going to switch to amber and flash in conjunction. However, beauty here is more than skin deep, as the lighting elements also shine, pun intended. For starters, you've got those two LED projectors in the center for your main and high beams. Output-wise, these are going to far outshine your standard halogens especially. And being that they are projectors, the beam pattern is going to be nice and wide with a sharp cutoff too. The fact that they're LED powered also means a cooler light temperature, so these are going to be more of that bluish white type of color that you expect, and they're going to have a great amount of overall output. So whether you're on the street or the trail, these are going to decidedly enhance your visibility from behind the wheel. The outer housings are constructed from black aluminum with integrated cooling fins to keep everything secure and running at a proper temperature. Out front, you get the standard clear polycarbonate lenses over top of those black internal housings and all the LED elements we were just talking about. Since these are fully LED, that also means they're going to have a nice long lifespan. Everything here is weather sealed too to keep dirt and moisture out from those electronics inside. Plus, they are DOT and SAE approved, meaning they've got integrated adjusters on the back, and that also makes them fully street legal. Plus, they're really just a nice piece of kit. When you pull them out of the box, I was quite impressed with how nice these are, which makes them even sweeter considering the price. Which that provides a nice segue here. Pricing for this kit is going to come in at about $375, making these a very affordable option. Now, JL headlights aren't super expensive to begin with, thankfully, but these are still a good value, especially considering the style and the lighting output. So if you're a fan of the styling like I am here, I think these are a really good price for what you're getting. Installation is going to get a 2 out of 3 on our difficulty meter, and they should take you around 2 hours to install. While these are mostly plug and play, you are going to need to do a bit of wiring in order to get those daytime running lights and turn signal repeaters running properly. However, it's really just a matter of running power and ground, and everything you need to get the job done is included, even some quick Scotch lock connectors. But enough of me talking about it, let's head out to the shop and we'll walk you through the process step by step.
Tools required for this install include a ratchet, wire strippers and crimpers, a clip remover tool, a marker, 10mm socket, a T-tap, male spade, and a test light. What's up guys? Today we're installing a set of headlights on our Wrangler, so let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is remove our grill. So we're going to start at the top here. We've got 6 push clips across the top. So grab a clip remover tool, pop these out. Now once you have those push clips removed up top, you can just grab onto your grill, pull straight back to release it from the clips. Now once we have our grill popped out, we can remove the connector for our camera as well as our washer line. There's going to be a black tab on the connector for the camera that you push in right there to pop that off. And then there's a silver clip here that you're going to push down on this one to pop off your washer line. Once you have those popped off, you can fully remove your grill. And now we have access to those 3 bolts holding in our headlight. So grab a 10mm socket and pop these out. And then with those removed, you can slide that out of the way. And that'll give us access to our connector. So push in on the black tab and pop that off. Do the same thing on the other side. So now before we install our new headlights, we're gonna have to do a little bit of wiring before we get them mounted up. We have 2 wires. One's gonna splice into the turn signal wire going to the light and the fender flare, and one's gonna go to the daytime running light wire. Now I'm gonna be using T-taps and male spades to wire this up. You can wire it up however you'd like. So we'll get into the wheel well, remove a couple bolts and a couple clips to gain access to those wires, and then we can install our T-taps and install our wires. So now we can hop inside the wheel well. We have a 10mm bolt here, a 10mm bolt up top, push clip here, and a push clip here. That's gonna be hard to see. So we're just gonna pop all those out, and then we can peel back our fender liner to give us enough access to our harness. I'm gonna take a 10mm socket for those 2 bolts. And then we'll grab a clip remover tool for our 2 clips here. You can kind of get behind the fender liner here to pop it out and make it a little bit easier. And then same thing up top here. There's a little gap in the fender liner. You can get your tool behind, pop that out. You can peel your fender liner back and give you access to your harness. So another way I'm gonna be splicing into these wires is with a T-tap. We've got a metal fork in there. You're gonna put the wire in between those forks, and then you'll close this up, take a pair of pliers to pinch that down, and that's gonna cut into the wire. And then we'll get a male spade connector to go into the other side. Now we already have some T-taps installed on here from previous installs, so I'm just gonna be using these. There's a white and green wire, that's gonna be for the turn signal, and then there's a white and brown wire, that's gonna be for your daytime running lights. And it's gonna be the same on the other side as well. So now if you wanna verify this before you go cutting into your wires, you can use a test light. You'll just turn the daytime running lights and the hazards on inside the Jeep, and then you'll just hook the one side up to a ground, probe into your wires. The one that's solid is going to be the daytime running light, and the one that's blinking is going to be your blinker. So now I've got the running lights and the blinkers on to show you. I've got the ground on our test light hooked up to the body mount stud. And then I'm just going to go inside the T-taps here. This is the white and brown wire. And we've got a solid light on our test light, meaning that's the daytime running light. And if we go over to the white and green wire, it's blinking, so that's gonna be our turn signal. So now I'm gonna hook up my 2 wires, one for the turn signal and one for the running light, and then I'm gonna run these into the headlight bucket. Now you can get to that from just right behind this fender liner. It'll go right into there. Now both of our wires are yellow, so to make this a little bit easier, I'm gonna be able to tell them apart. I'm just gonna take a marker and just make a mark on one of these. And then I'm gonna put this one to the turn signal and run it into the headlight bucket. That way, once we get up to the headlight bucket, I can tell which one's connected to which. So I'll go ahead and connect that up to the white and green wire. And I'll run that past the fender liner and into the headlight bucket. And now I'm gonna repeat that same process for our daytime running light wire. I'm just obviously not gonna make a mark on this wire. So that'll go up to the white and brown. And then just same thing, run it through your fender liner and back into the headlight bucket. And then with all of your slack pulled and running towards the headlight bucket, we can get our fender liner back into place and reinstall our clips and bolts. So now we can reinstall our 2 bolts. Got the one up top, one at the front. And then we'll reinstall our 2 push clips. And then take that 10mm socket, tighten those 2 bolts down. Now, the last thing we need to do before we can finally mount up these headlights is crimp on some male spade connectors to the ends of our wires. Now, this is going to go to the female spade connector that's on the back of our headlight. So you're going to grab some wire strippers and crimpers, strip back some lead on the end of your wires. And then twist up that lead, make it nice and tight, and then you can slide your spade connector on top. And then take your wire crimpers and crimp down on that. And then just do the same thing for your other wire. Slide your spade on. And crimp down on it. Then give it a nice tug, make sure it's nice and tight on there. And then I'm going to take all of this excess wire and bunch it up and zip tie it out of the way. And then you chop off the excess of that zip tie. So now we can install our headlight. We've got our 2 wires coming off the back that are going to connect up to our turn signals and our daytime running lights, and then our main connector that's going to go to our body harness. Now this green wire is going to be for the turn signals. So I'm going to find that wire that I marked with the black marker and then connect those together. And then the red's going to go to the daytime running light. Slide those together. And then we can connect up our harness to the body harness. Now, if you want to double check that your wires are right, you can go ahead and hit the daytime running lights or the turn signals. If your turn signals are blinking white, then you just got to flip those wires around and get them to blink yellow. Once you have that in place, you can slide this into place. We have bolts with a flat washer that are going to be replacing our factory bolts. They're going to go through the front, and then you have a spring that's going to go between this little nut plate and the back of the headlight. So I'm gonna get the two inside ones lined up first because we have a little bit of maneuverability where we can get the spring in from the back on this outer one. Just go ahead and tuck your wires back and get everything lined up. Now you can grab your last bolt, get your spring in behind here, thread your bolt into place, and then we'll grab our 10mm socket and tighten those down. And then repeat that same process on the other side. So now we can get our grill back in place. We're gonna hook up our washer line and our camera connector, and then we'll just line up all these clips and press it into place. So this washer line, you just push on just like that until it clicks, and it's gonna be the same thing with the connector here. And we'll just raise this up, get it lined up, and then just give it a good shove. And now we'll just come to the top of our grill and reinstall our 6 push clips. So that'll wrap up this review and install of the Raxium 9-inch Vader LED headlights with black housing and clear lens for your 2018 and newer Jeep Wrangler JL. Thank you for watching, and for all things Wrangler, keep it right here at extremeterrain.com.